Daily Divine Guidance 9774. Now, I don't know who made this cool, but there's a lot of different things that I'm hearing. It's no one's business if you're dating and how you date. Yes, there are a lot of people that were introduced to Jezebel and they're very promiscuous, but that's still their business. And I'm not sure why you would be upset, except this is not even a conscious thing when people are possessed. And most of y'all are. So it's amazing how you sit and you judge people that have been cursed with the spirit of Jezebel that are still daring to, maybe not in a healthy way, seek love. Because after all, you are human. You just happen to have some demonic entity attached to you that is causing you to move way too fast and soon in relationships, even on jobs. Sometimes you get there and you have an anxiety and you start trying to be everybody's friend. Same thing. And sometimes it lands well for a lot of people to have Jezebel experience because they can make familiar spirit friends any and everywhere. Club, store. And who does black men on soap operas? I ain't watched these soap operas in long. Boy, these kids was kids. Now they grown, looking like presidents. Oh Lord. I started watching in grammar school. High school, I haven't watched this in years. This lady like she would be vice president of something. She looks different. She don't like a little kid anymore. I mean, dang, it has been over 30 years. Jeez. See, this is what caught me on soap operas years ago. The glamour. He had a shirt on. He's a dark skinned man. He got this super shiny, like they painted it with lilac or something. What you call that? Lacquer. Some. And it's just sparkly. And I'm like, ooh, flashback. Because I always watch the stuff and it's always glamorous. There's always a ring or a chain or earring or something they're wearing that makes you go, ooh, yes. But again, getting back, we need to stop judging women. Hi, Amia, that are dating. Again, I don't know who told you trolls um, to come and irritate people because they're trying to find love. You know, we all have been out here trying to find a husband or a wife. And maybe we went through a few frogs. And I'm still trying to see who are you to keep bed notch post numbers of what I've been doing. How many people I've talked to. Why would that disturb you? Why is that your business? Why are you not busy minding your business where you can be more effective in your own family? Again, I just saw a video of a Jezebel that's probably just after money. Um, the little retarded boy is in the back. I said it. And the lady is talking smart to the birth mama. She's like, boy, get out that car. I'm your mother. And here comes Jezebel. Your mother. I'm his mother. I cook and clean for him. I make sure he's fed. And I do this and that. And then you got Genuine, the singer. Oh, I love you, Genuine. I'm just saying. He looked handsome like you. But he looks like a little playboy. Like, okay, there's a bunch of grown men that never had a home themselves. And this could have been somebody she took care of. And she's sitting over there being a man in the main seat, the driver's seat. And she got this man in the passenger seat looking like, well, she feeds me too. I ain't gonna say nothing because I'm getting benefits from driving around with her living in her house like I'm a foster child at my age. And this is the problem. She is a Jezebel. She likes to control other people's business. She controls that man's business most likely. She runs the whole household wearing her little raggedy stuff out. She up in everybody's business, including this lady with this child. Now, again, there are children that need help, but why would you ride up to the mama's house where she lives, where this child lives, or just insert yourself into their business like a Jezebel and then start to holler at the mom talking about dogs have kids? You are a Jezebel. You are not to be honored and you ain't doing nothing great stealing that child. And look how aggressive he is in the back seat. You are not my mother and you're going around telling everybody you're my mother with his bifocal retarded ass. And that lady probably really loves him. Time out. And with all of me and you up here dating all that time. And that's none of your business. Who left you the bedpost notch keeper of who's sleeping with who and how many people and who's going through what? Who left you the ICU news reporter to be telling everybody's business? I'm telling you, Jezebel's a trip. Because if she really loved that child, she wouldn't be doing this wretched stuff that God is going to punish her for. Well, she's probably going to go end up in prison because they're probably going to discover this lady was stealing kids and all up in their business on them text messages and in them bank accounts trying to get money off of these folks. And she ended up getting this child that was none of her business. If the mother didn't give her child up and the mother didn't put that kid in any jeopardy or real stuff, that lady should not be in that lady's face talking about what she's doing. See, that's Jezebel. All up in somebody else's business all the time, running a stupid, uneducated mouths. When people mind their own business, that would great. Again, how do you roll up to her house and start singing at her about her child? Like a dummy. That sounds like a bully. Like this bully, again, in my other video, is sitting there watching someone struggling with their homework because maybe they don't have a good home life or whatever. And here comes the fat kid that got everything but a nasty attitude, and they happen to start looking at this kid's issues and they try and profit on top of it by trying to take their weakness and making it their strength, and then trying to play down their weaknesses, play up their weaknesses and put down their strengths as if they're better suited for something like home queen or something. And so now you got this fat kid that thinks they're privileged on top of this kid, and then they get the crown and go with the guy, not to date, but just maybe win the crown with the king of the prom. And now she's, look at you, you're not a good prom queen. That's why I got the title. That's ugly. It's ugly. And I don't know why people don't see how ugly that is to sit there and act that childish. You up in another woman's face, calling her names over her child, talking about dogs have kids. You are a wretched soul, and this kid is going to be just as nasty as you. So don't think you winning anything by taking this nasty little demon off somebody's hand. For him to sit there and talk so nasty to his birth mother. And you got and you're going around telling people you're my mother. I am your mother. And there go to little Jezebel. What do you mean dogs have babies? And the kid in the background barking like a puppy. Ridiculous. Where's the respect? Once again, put yourself. I'm thinking when she gets old with her nasty attitude and Genuine sitting on the side being one of the kids too in an adult body, they're all probably going to turn on that cold wench, and the other lady probably going to go ahead and find her a good real man and have more kids, or kids that she takes care of that will call her mother, that will realize she was a real mother. Nobody's perfect, hoes. I'm not sure why y'all be having all these attitudes about other people's business, except you are a miserable busybody bum that's looking to take care of somebody else's child so you can get money. And you have to play that little silly ghetto game that God is not impressed with. And okay, how many times you go to church and tote your gun and be acting like a little hoe thug, trying to tell somebody else they're not a good mom. You ain't doing nothing. You going to hell. Again, put your little raggedy, ugly self in her shoes. Say the ugly man you got run off, and then you're forced to go out here and date, and you see the trash, and you don't choose to stay, and you continue to date people, and you got a little busy hoe up in your business time out. Oh, she always dates somebody. She always chasing a man about how that ain't your business trick. It's none of your business because you got a little boy inside your car and house just doing your babysitting and doing whatever in your house. It's none of your business what other people are doing. And you didn't even go legally, most likely, to get this child. That little dumb kid just following you around. Because they stupid. That's stupid. Here you are working hard, looking for love like any healthy woman. Here's this whore that happened to have a man. And that's only because she's settled. And she's a man herself. He's a passive aggressive man. That's most times the feminine energy. And then she's some masculine dude. That's the masculine energy. And she's bullying everybody and in everybody's face and pointing her finger. And he over there. Well, she taking care of me too. Y'all kids need to grow up looking in these adult bodies instead of people's business. You do. Because God is judging. And I'm not sure why you up on the computer up in somebody's face and you know you've been recorded unless you just being stupid for the gram instead of doing it for the cross. Trying to be funny. Because again, you're probably doing that lady a favor taking the demon seed off her hands if a child could sit there and be that disrespectful. I currently know people that are literally being spit up on, held back, all ages. These old ass mamas and daddies being disrespectful to the kids and the grandkids. There's some demons on the loose. And you keep your poise, your class. And then you got these Jezebels out here fighting with everybody over your shit. Oh, amazing. All right. So, as I was saying, it's very important that we learn to mind our own business and to pay attention to what's going on in our lives. And if God grants you the need to see into someone else's life, go legally, go through the spirit of the anointing and God, and not be fighting people over their children unnecessarily, looking like a whole Jezebel out here up on other people's business, busybodies, bullies, women that act like men and men that act like women. And really think you sharp. And I'm sure you have a whole community going, that's right, girl, you said right. And all y'all going to hell, probably prison, for effing around in other people's lives. There's a new sheriff in town, if you haven't met him. His name is Jesus, and he's working through people that you would never, ever have a clue. And I like to thank these people, amen, that God is using to bring justice into my life, these angels. Because these people that's been minding my business, these people have been watching them for a while. Probably between 10 and 20 years. And boss, sheriff, he don't like you coming to his town acting a fool. And I know some of y'all think y'all own God's good green earth and all these little parts in here. In your heart, you don't own Chicago. You don't own Nevada. You don't own the neighborhood. You don't own the corners. You don't own the buildings. You don't own the people or the kids. Demons. Most you own is your name. And you probably don't own that. So let's say your gym shoes and the words you use. Let me think. That's about it. The words that you open your big blabber line mouth up to use, and the ugly shoes you wear. Need I say more?